Hey there, I'm Brittany Schroeder, and business and marketing are my jam. I'm here to walk you step by step through this crazy thing we call business. I'm a small town girl, chocolate eating, Diet Coke drinking mom, marketing guru, automation Jedi, and all around good time. This is your weekly dose of all things business and life, sprinkled with some fun. This is the Redefine Business Podcast. Welcome to another episode of Redefine Business Podcast, and welcome to 2024. It's going to be a good one. I can just feel it in my bones. I hope you guys had a great holiday, but now it's time to get back to work. And we are going to be talking about one of my favorite topics today, and that is goal setting. I love it. I know that you guys love it. So, no, I know that there's people out there who are hesitant to set goals, but hopefully after you listen to this podcast, I'll have convinced you how beneficial goal setting can be. Just a reminder that if you need help with your goal setting, we are hosting, myself and two of my colleagues are hosting an Amplify workshop January 19th in Salt Lake City, Utah, where we are going to teach you how to set your goals and how to plan your entire year in a day. So it's going to be an awesome event. And so if you are in the Salt Lake City area or live close by or want to fly in, we would love to have you. And I will put that information in the show notes. So it's going to be great. Okay, let's talk about mastering the art of goal setting and planning and executing. So as the calendar turns its pages, it's time to welcome a new year, and a lot of entrepreneurs are just gearing up to set the stage for 2024. Goal setting is a cornerstone of achieving success in your business. It is so important. When you provide a roadmap for navigating the challenges and opportunities in your business, the odds of success are going to be in your favor because you have a plan and a strategy. So in this podcast, I want to explore some tried and true tactics of goal setting, from the initial planning stages to the execution phase, and hopefully to the success of achieving your goals. So let's start with defining clear and purposeful goals. Before diving into the nitty-gritty of planning, it's really important to establish a solid foundation for your goals. The first step is to define a clear and purposeful vision for your business. What is it that you want to achieve in 2024, and how does it align with your long-term dreams? How does it match up with your 5, 10, 15, 20-year goals? Your goals should be a reflection of your mission, values, and just the overall purpose of your business and where you want to be. I was having a conversation with my 19-year-old son recently, and we were talking about the difference in men and women. And one of the things I was saying, and this isn't necessarily always in business, but this was more in life. And I was saying, oh, women are forward thinkers. We're thinking ahead. We're thinking of, okay, you need to pack your bag. So in case you're in a hurry and you don't have time to pack, you won't forget anything. And we were just kind of talking about it. And it made me think of just like goal setting. And do we do that in our goal setting, not just in our everyday life, but are we forward thinking? Are we thinking, okay, if I do this year, it's going to set me up for my 5-year and my 10-year in my business. So when you are setting your goals, try to think forward thinking of what it is that you want to accomplish. Okay, let's break down some different types of goals that these are different goals that I have set and I've learned, and they've helped me to achieve a lot of success in my business. The first one is I call my realistic goals. And remember that goal setting is one of the most compassionate, wonderful things that we can do for ourselves. So stay connected to yourself, and your goals is really important. Strive to be the best you and achieve the best. This is going to help you have personal growth and growth in your business. Setting goals helps us evolve into the best version of ourselves, and it helps our business to grow. We should constantly be asking ourselves to grow and evolve in a bigger and better way. And goals is how we do that, right? So you cannot achieve your goals by just thinking about them. You have to focus your thoughts on your goals and understand that the emotion that drives your actions will determine your results. I'm going to repeat that again. The emotion that drives your actions will determine your results. So if you are feeling confident, you'll pursue your goals with more determination and intensity. But if you're feeling unsure or insecure, you're going to proceed with caution and self-doubt. So once you get your thoughts in the right place, your results will reflect that. So get in a good mindset. Get in a place where you are confident that you can do it. Yes, you can do it. So create goals that align with your thinking, then take action to prove it. So I always say, make a list of realistic goals. And these are goals that you no doubt can achieve if you have a plan and a strategy. So these goals are important to have in your list of goals. Okay, this concept is something that I learned a few years ago, and it's so interesting how I had such a huge mindset shift in my business. And I try not to look in the past, but I think, gosh, if I would have had this tool, like years ago, where would I be now? And so I just think it's so important to teach, especially young entrepreneurs, this concept. And this is the concept of big goals, like really, really big goals, right? So a lot of times we hesitate to set really, really big goals. We settle because we have this self-doubt or, we have these negative thoughts. And the thoughts are usually about our capabilities. And these kinds of thoughts, they keep us from achieving really, really big. So we are okay with just, being mediocre. We're okay right there. We self-talk and we convince ourselves that, okay, I'll be happy if I'm just making $30,000 a year or $50,000 a year. But why don't we dream bigger? Why don't we set our goals to make 500,000? What is it? And this is interesting. Ask yourself this question. Why are your goals not these great, big, huge goals? So it's our thoughts and they hold us back. And it's time to let go of the good and go for the great. The bigger your goals are, the harder you'll push yourself to greatness. So make a list of 20 goals, and intermix those goals, like your realistic goals, your typical relevant realistic goals, with some of these unimaginable goals. Shoot for the stars. Okay, here's the thing. Will you always get the results that you want? Who knows? You may or you may not. But either way, your business will grow leaps and bounds. So think of it this way. Say that I have a goal and my goal is I'm going to make $1 million this year. And so I start to set my goals and are they aligning with this goal? Are all the little goals in my business, are they aligning with this big $1 million goal? And I can look at those goals and say, you know what? They're not. Like if I don't have growth on my email list, how am I going to get here? If I'm only charging this much, how am I going to get to $1 million, right? And so I push myself and I try different things and I look at my roadmap and I plan different things. Am I going to get to $1 million? I don't know. But am I going to get closer if I wouldn't have had that big goal? No, probably not. And so that is the purpose of setting these really big goals, because it pushes you harder so you get further than if you have these goals that are just mediocre, right? So I love this concept and I have implemented it since I've learned it a few years ago. And I don't always hit my goals, my big goals, but I get so much closer. And I have grown year after year in ways that I don't know if I would have if I wouldn't have these great big huge goals. So just think about that. Okay, the next type of goal, and this is more of a method of goal setting, but it's using the SMART criteria, and it's an acronym, and it stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So being specific, the first one, S, being specific, it just ensures clarity. So you're very specific about a goal and it isn't broad. For example, a specific goal is, I want to make 100,000. A non-specific goal, which this used to be me, would be, I want to be successful, or I just want to make a little extra money, like play money. The more specific you can be with your goals, the more likely you are to achieve them, because it's very specific. So then the next letter in the SMART goals is the M, and that's measurability. And that provides a tangible metric for success. So for example, you can say, that you want to grow your email list by 10%. If you have 1,000 people on your email list, that means you have to gain 100 new subscribers. So that is measurability. You want it to be something that's measurable. Achievability is the A, and that sets realistic expectations. So these are going to go back to some of our realistic goals. And although it's important to set big, unimaginable goals, it's important to intermix those goals with goals that are attainable. And the reason why is so you can feel accomplished and keep the momentum going. So you want to make sure that you have goals that are achievable and attainable. The next letter in SMART is relevance or relevant, and that aligns goals with your overall vision. You want to make sure that your goals are helping you get to where you want to go. If you're focusing on the wrong things in your business, it may be a detour in the road of success. So make sure that it's relevant for what you're doing. And sometimes you have to test those things, and sometimes you don't realize it's not relevant or it's not working until time has gone by. But just make sure you do have some sort of idea of, is this going to help me? Is this going to be relevant, right? And then lastly is time-bound factors. Time-bound is the T in SMART, and that it gives you a timeline for achieving your goals. For example, if you want to get 50 5-star reviews on your podcast by February 1st, this creates a sense of urgency, and that pushes you to take action. So when you are setting your goals, use the acronym SMART, S-M-A-R-T, just to ensure that you have clarity on the what, the how, and the when. And this is a really great, I have a planner that I've used, and I'll set different goals with like my social media growth or my email growth. And I have this planner that at the end of the month, it gives me asks me like, what's your following on, what's your email subscriber list? What's your traffic on your website? And I love that part of it. I love that it's like a measurable thing. I love that I can see like the progress, and it's fun to look back and see over the years how much progress that I've had. So this is a good one that helps keep the momentum going. Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about is categorizing your goals. A lot of times, entrepreneurs, we're wearing multiple hats and we're balancing just different aspects of our businesses. So categorizing your goals can help streamline your efforts, and it can also provide a holistic view of your business objectives. So consider dividing your goals into categories such as financial, here's a financial goal, marketing goals, operational goals, personal development. So try to break them up and put them in different categories so that you can break them down and dive deep into the different categories. Okay, planning for success. And let's break down the goals into actionable steps. And this is where the strategy and the planning takes place. And I feel like this is something that a lot of people overlook. And I'm guilty of it, is writing down my goals. I have been a goal setter as long as I can remember. But one of the pieces that I was missing is I didn't necessarily plan a strategy, or I didn't have a plan. I joke about this, that every year I say, I'm going to journal. I'm going to be a better journaler. And I write my goals in my journal. And then it's like the next page is the next year when I'm setting goals, and I didn't journal. So fail. But one of the reasons that I didn't have a plan. And so that's why there was no planning, no execution. And then I failed. So think of it, even that's a personal development goal. So what's going to be my plan to journal? Am I going to leave my journal on my nightstand so I see it? Am I going to write it on my to-do list? It's important that you have a plan in your goal setting, or you are more likely to fail because you don't really have a plan. Okay, so let's dive into it. So once your goals are defined, it's time to develop that roadmap that guides you from point A to point B. The planning phase is where you break down your goals into smaller, actionable steps. This not only makes the journey more manageable, but also provides a clear path forward. So one of the ways I do this is by mapping out my entire year. And we're going to do this in the Amplify workshop. And I'm so excited to teach all of the attendees this, but I place the big events or launches on the designated month. So I have a calendar that has every single month, and I plot out these different big things. And I typically have something big planned quarterly. The next thing I do is I make a to-do list of everything that needs to be done for those events. Some items take more time or have higher priority. So I'm going to break down. So say, for example, I want to host an event. Here's a list of things I need to do. I need to create a sales page. I need to find speakers. I need to find a location. I need to, if I'm getting it catered, I need to cater it. I need to write emails. I need to market. There's all these things that come into hosting an event. So once I have that event, I need to just make a list of all of the things that I need to do, right? And again, some of them have higher priority. So you want to note that all tasks are not created equal, and understanding their importance is key to effective planning. Prioritize tasks based on their impact and time. So sequencing your activities in a logical order, make sure that each step contributes to the overall progress of your goals. So for example, I talked about hosting an event. Creating a sales page can take a couple of weeks. It takes a lot longer. Also, finding speakers can take a month. And so those are going to be, I'm going to prioritize them and put them in order of the most important, right? Okay, so once the list is compiled, then what I do is I schedule out the tasks or activities monthly. Once my monthly task list is complete, I assign the task to specific days of that month. And this ensures that I have plenty of time to work on the tasks that will help me with the big goals. So for example, if I'm going to host an event in April and I need to create a sales page, that's going to be my number one thing that I need to create even before I start asking speakers. I like to give myself 2 or 3 months. I have to be realistic with the time. So I'm going to say, okay, if I'm doing this in April, in January, I'm going to start working on that sales page. And then I'm going to say, okay, this is going to take me, let's say 2 or 3 weeks. So maybe the third week in January, I'm going to say, okay, start working on finding speakers. So I break things down. There's some things like the catering, I don't need, it's not as urgent. I can do that like a month before. So I might put that on my to-do list in March. But breaking down those categories, understanding how much time they have, how much time they'll take, and then assigning them to a specific month, a specific week, a specific day, whatever it may be, it's going to help you with effectively planning. So a pro tip is entrepreneurship is very unpredictable. So be prepared for the unexpected and incorporate a backup plan into your goal setting strategy. So identify potential roadblocks such as holidays or life events and give yourself enough time or an alternative approach. This is why it's important to plan things out, your whole year. And then you can say, okay, is this going to make sense if I launch this and it's right during the holidays? Or is this going to make sense if we launch this and, we have other stuff going on? So, and things come up too. You can plan your whole year and things will still come up. So just keep that in mind when you're planning. Give yourself a little wiggle room. Okay, execution. So execution is where the rubber meets the road. Even the most well thought out plans are ineffective without action. So here are some tips for turning your plans into actions. The first one is finding an accountability partner. Share your goals with someone you trust. That can be a mentor, a business partner, a fellow entrepreneur, a business coach, whatever it is. Having an accountability partner can provide the necessary support and motivation to stay on track. Regular check-ins allow for feedback and adjustments, ensuring that you remain committed to your goals. So those are really helpful. I know that's one of the things that my clients love is that I'm always checking in. Where are you at on this? And it keeps the momentum going for sure. Okay, delegate and collaborate. Entrepreneurs often fall into the trap of trying to do everything themselves. Recognize your strengths and weaknesses and delegate tasks accordingly. It's important. I always think it's important to know how to do things, but if it is not your strength, delegate. If you're in a position where you can delegate. Okay, collaborate with team members, leveraging their skills to achieve collective success. Sometimes when we have different team members and we're collaborating, it's so much nicer to give people what their strengths are and you focus on what your strengths are. So delegating not only lightens your workload, but it also fosters a sense of shared responsibility. So if you can find a good collaboration, whether that's with a colleague or your team, it is a game changer. Continuous learning. Entrepreneurship is a journey of constant learning and adaptation. So stay informed about the industry trends and emerging technologies and new strategies. Embrace a growth mindset that encourages continuous learning, allowing you to refine your approach and stay confident and positive. Constantly be learning. In business, you might be doing something in marketing and it's working and it's great, and then all of a sudden it's not. And so when you are continuously opening up your mind to new techniques and learning new things, it's going to help you grow your business and expand your mind. Okay, overcoming challenges and embracing failure. This is a big one. No journey is without challenges. Setbacks and obstacles are inevitable, but it's how you respond to them that defines your success. Here are a few strategies for overcoming different challenges. Okay, the first one is mindset. View challenges as opportunities for growth and learning rather than a complete failure. I think this took me a few years to figure out, but once I did, it was huge for me. I tried to, instead of getting in a funk and feeling like, oh, I failed, I had to take a step back and say, okay, what have I learned from this experience and how can I do it better? So a positive mindset, it enables you to approach setbacks with resilience and creativity. So learn from failures, adjust your course, and move forward with that newfound knowledge of doing things bigger and better. The next one is find support. Entrepreneurship can be a lonely road, but you don't have to navigate it alone. Look for support from mentors or your peers or networking groups. Find people that you're in the trenches with together. And this is so great to have a community. Shared experiences and a different perspective can offer such a valuable insight and different solutions to the challenges that you face. So finding community is huge. Pivot if needed. The ability to adapt to changing circumstances is so essential for the success of your business. Be open to reassessing your goals and strategies. If something isn't working, take a step back, try something new and pivot. Flexibility allows you to pivot when necessary, and it helps you to keep momentum despite these unexpected challenges. The next one is celebrate. As you make strides towards your goals, it's a must to celebrate your successes along the way. Acknowledge and reward both small and large achievements. Take the time to reflect on your journey, identifying lessons learned and areas for improvement, and just keep like embracing the journey and celebrating yourself and giving yourself that reward. The next one is reflect. At least once a quarter, evaluate your progress against the initial goals that you've set. What worked well and what could be improved? What are you getting a return on with your investment? What are you not? Reflecting on your journey allows for continuous improvement, and it really refines your strategy. Entrepreneurship is a dynamic mission, and it's constantly changing. And as one set of goals is achieved, it's time to set new ones. Building on your successes, setting ambitious, big goals, and those realistic goals, this is what's going to propel your business forward. The process of setting, planning, and executing goals is what's going to take you from good to great in 2024. As we gear up for the challenges and opportunities of this next year, mastering the art of goal setting is paramount. By defining clear and purposeful goals, developing a strategic plan, and executing, you can make 2024 a year to remember. Embracing challenges with resilience and celebrating successes along the way is going to make your journey so much more rewarding. As you embark on your goals in 2024, remember that each step forward brings you closer to the continued success of your business. If you want more help planning your 2024, check out our Amplify workshop in Salt Lake City on January 19th. It is going to be so good. All right, guys, I hope that you found all of this information helpful and that you are as excited as I am for 2024. Let's not stop the party here. head on over to my Instagram or Facebook group, Redefine Your Business, and let me know your thoughts about today's show. I will see you again, same time, same place, next week.